Hello, what's up, y'all? Hey, this is your boy Omson the Real. Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, I pray and hope that this video reaches y'all in the best of health, in the best of mind, and of course, in the best of spirit. So, in this video tonight, I want to speak about the sad ending story of Frederick Akwasi Adolfo. Frederick Akwasi Adolfo is a 42 years old Ghanaian man. He came to Italy back in 2012, and ever since he's been living in Italy. He didn't go to any other European country. He's been living in Italy, trying to integrate, doing all his best to integrate, but things just didn't work out for him. He did not get the document that allows him to stay here, to live legally here in Italy, which is a permesso di soggiorno, permit of stay. You understand? So he did not have chance to work. He could not work because of lack of documentation. He could not work because he didn't have work permit or any kind of document that would allow him to work. Also, he was like he was somewhat he was abandoned by the systems, at the mercy of the streets. He found himself in the streets, homelessness. You understand? As you guys know, once you become a homeless, you are exposed to a lot of evil things, a lot of also substances. You understand? Homelessness is never good for the mind of the man. You understand? Because a lot of shit exists on the streets. You see, like alcoholism, like drug abuse, or some other illegal or activities that are, dangerous for your life, for your health, both physical and mental health. So according to the news, Akwasi Adolfo, Frederick Akwasi Adolfo, had become alcoholic. I understand? This is the man that left his family back in Africa in 2012 and did all that he could to try to come to this beautiful Europe and try to, find a life better than the life he couldn't find in his country back in Ghana or in any other African country. You understand? So ever since, like I said before, this guy has been living in Italy until on the 18th of June, this past June of 2023, just like 1 month ago. On the 18th of June 2023, Akwasi Adolfo, in the small town where he was living near Napoli, Naples in English, but in Italian they say Napoli, Akwasi Adolfo got attacked by 2 Italians. He got attacked, beaten and conscious by 2 Italians, and was left there at the mercy of death without any kind of assistance from anyone whomsoever. So according to the news, which I verily doubt the things they say, you understand, because every time someone is killed, especially every time an African is killed or abused, they try to find ways to kind of make the abuser or the killer look somewhat innocent in one way or another. You understand? Or they try to make the intention of the killer, which is mostly racist intention, you understand, or racist motive. They try to make the motive of the killer or the abuser of that particular black person or African person look less racist. So they will either connect it to the age of the person or to a substance that the person abused, or to the mental condition of the person. He had mental problems. He's had psychiatric problems. He's a minor. So in the case of the killers of Frederick Akwasi Adolfo, the Italian news outlets are saying that the boys who killed him, the 2 men who killed him, are underages. They are 16 years old boys. They cannot lie. They are 14 or 12. That would make sense. So they say 16 years old boys. You understand? Whom would be majors like 2 years, because they would all be 18 in 2 years time. You understand? I doubt or I disbelieve the ages of the 2 killers. I believe that these are not underages. They are not minors. They are grown up men with their grown up balls. You understand? Who just have no respect for the life of the African or for the life of the black African. So they just they see that, they think or believe through what they see in their society. They believe that the life of the black man don't equate anything, don't mean anything, or don't matter. You understand? They believe they can torture, even kill this guy, and they might even be praised for it. There won't be much heavy consequence, not on the side of us Africans, and not on the side of the Italian authorities or the world population. Imagine if these guys had killed their dog, the whole world, especially the Western world, the European world, or the so-called white people's world, would all be alarmed. They would all be demonstrating in the streets to condemn the killing of that dog. But when it is an African, people would rather celebrate it than to be pissed off by it, or to be alarmed or revolted by it. You understand? Because these things, you have to understand that every time an African gets abused by a white person, this contributes to the pride of white people in being white. You understand? This contributes to their pride in being white. You understand? This contributes to their value of self, or their self-esteem, because they feel like, I'm white, I'm blessed. This cannot happen to me because I am a white person. You understand? So I'm under this kind of beliefs, this kind of stupid beliefs that if a black person get killed or abused, there won't be a lot of, you will not hear a lot of uproar from the people in the Western world. They rather get busy trying to hide it, or trying to hide the racist motive or a negrophobic motive that causes the killer or the abuser to go and abuse that particular African or kill that particular African. They would rather be busy trying to hide that motive, that racialistic motive, than to fight against it openly. You understand? And the saddest thing about this whole thing is the attitude of us Africans towards our brothers or sisters who get abused around the world. We act like a complete cowards. We're not aware of anything in this world. We act like a complete cowards, like people who don't have sense at all. Solidarity don't exist in our world. We rather get happy seeing each other fail in life, seeing each other abused, or seeing each other in trouble, than to stand and support or help each other. You see, you don't see any Ghanaian come out to protest against it. You don't see any African come out to protest against this savage killing of this man. You don't see any African president, for that matter. These animals we have on the top of our countries as presidents were elected by our #1 enemies. We don't elect these presidents we have, so-called presidents we have. They are not our, these are negriers. These are black negriers. You understand? These are black negriers. They are the most worthless and the most shameless people on the face of this planet Earth. These are our so-called presidents. So none of the African presidents came out to condemn the killing of this Ghanaian man who got killed only because he is a black person, and only because the life of a black person don't matter nothing, because anybody can do anything to a black person and get away with it. There is no consequences. Imagine if they touch this guy, he died. 20 of them are sent to the cemetery in Africa. Next time, it might be even a race-based war, but next time they would think twice before touching an African anywhere. But we are cowardly. A coward never gets respected. Respect is commended, not demanded. You don't need to go to the streets and beg people, respect me, Black Lives Matter. No. You turn hellfire on their body, on their skin, when they touches you. This is how you demonstrate that your life matters. Life matters. Not by begging people to respect you. Nobody will respect you by begging them to respect you. You have to impose, force people to respect you. That's the one thing we Africans can never do. We have never been able to do for the past like 1,000 years. We have just been a cowards, always beg for everything. We beg for respect, we beg for everything. For our freedom also, we beg for it. You understand? Look at France. What happened in France recently with the protesters? It was an Arab boy who got killed in France by two policemen. You see the hellfire Arab people have burned in the streets of France. They have descended on France. This is how to behave whenever one of your brothers get attacked, abused, or killed. You have to react with immediate effect. You have to make the people immediately regret doing it. You understand? You have to force the people to value your lives. You see these boys, they attack this Ghanaian man and killed him because they know that in their society is normal. And negrophobia in their society is something that's acceptable, something that's accepted. It's something that's not only accepted, but it is promoted by the authorities of this country. Negrophobia is promoted by the authorities of this country. They don't even hide it. They try to make their people, the authorities try to make the people believe that their main problem is Africans. How can Africans be your main problem? Or 90% of the resources you have in these countries, in Europe here, they come from Africa. So you are the problems of the Africans, not the poor Africans who come here. You understand, sleeping in the streets and suffering like goddamn people. You see, you look even in the streets of Italy, the Italian police, they go around abusing black people, humiliating black people, treating black people like criminals in front of tourists and every other person. Because this is their only way of making white people feel proud and good in being white. Only to abuse black people in front of them in public. They feel proud of their skin color. They feel proud of their white privilege. Their glory, their pride has always been at the expense of us Africans. I understand. It's always by the authorities. They're very hypocrites who come to you talking about democracy, globalism, and equality. They are the very people behind every single negrophobic act that you go through anywhere in the world. Because they indirectly preaches negrophobia. You understand? They indirectly preaches white supremacy, white superiority complex, and white hegemony. You understand? They don't do it for their people. It's a political game they are playing. This is the only thing that makes their people think that our politicians are doing well for us. What are they doing well for you? Nothing. If your glory must depend on the demise of other people, if your glory must depend on the destruction and the suffering of other people, you should know something is wrong with you. So man, I just came across this story of Frederick Akwasi Adolfo, and I decided to share with you guys. I understand. I want to also profit through this occasion to say rest in peace, brother Frederick Akwasi Adolfo. You belong to the most coward race of people. That's why your death is just in vain. Nobody came out to protest. Nobody asked any questions. Nobody even talks about his death. And this is how we were all going to die, one after another. Just like this Adolfo Akwasi. We are all going to die this way. They will kill all of us one after another. Because there is no consequences. We are sleeping, the head, we are dead here in the head. Peace out.